I could really feel that. I felt this unique attachment to Iran. It was like a parent for me.
Tina, tell me about the decision to return to Iran 6 years ago. You're in New Zealand. You've assimilated. You're a New Zealander. You're doing well. You're working on your master's. You decide to visit Iran. At what point do you make the decision that this is going to be a permanent move back to Iran?
So basically, it wasn't a decision really. I always wondered about Iran. I had this passion for Iran. I remember, so when I moved to New Zealand, I hadn't visited Iran like for maybe 6-7 years. And then I visited and it was very different for me. The first week, I didn't really like it. I couldn't really connect with the environment and the people. But gradually, I found my little place and I connected with people. And then I would go back every maybe 1 year or 2 years just for holiday. And every time I went, I felt this connection. I always say, I've actually researched on this. There's a concept called place attachment. So they say when you're born, the first few years of life, you get attached in a different way, in a very deep sense, with the closest people to you, like your parents or your very or your family. So they say the same thing happens with the place you spend the first few years of your life. You have this very unique attachment to that place, and it's called place attachment. And for me, I could really feel that. I felt this unique attachment to Iran. It was like a parent for me. So your parent might not be the best parent. They may be impolite, they might sometimes not treat you well, they might be this and that, but you feel different about them. So if somebody tells you, hey, let go of your dad and we will grant you a different father who's very polite, very rich, very understanding, very this, very that, but you have to forget about your own dad. And most people would say, no, I don't want to do that, because they are not my dad.
Right.
I still have these unique feelings for my own dad. Iran feels like that for me. It's like a parent. It might not be perfect. Well, it isn't. And it has a lot of faults, but you feel this like very unique attachment because you were born there, and because maybe your parents were from that culture. Because I spent the first few years of my life there.